Let's get it started.
And with that, hello everybody, welcome to a new Minisode from Dissonant Waves. Your favorites, Green Day people, aside from Corey, Trix and Domino are here.
Indeed, we are.
2/3 of the Green Day brigade, whatever you want to call us. We're back. Time to talk about
Hell yeah.
Green Day, but not Green Day. It's another side project. It's the Longshot. Now,
Yeah.
the Longshot, the 2018 side project that Billy Joe Armstrong went and did. This is actually not Green Day in disguise. This time, this is not Green Day putting on a guise or doing something different. This is Billy Joe actually going off with different people and making music.
Yes.
Got Jeff Matica, David S. Field, and Kevin Preston filling out the band. But from what I've seen from some of the production notes, for example, on the album that was put out, Billy Joe did a lot of the studio work himself.
Yes. So it does sound very Green Day.
It's like that part in Quattro where Billy Joe's doing all the demos by himself.
Yes.
And it's just here's the band now. There are people in it, but it's Billy Joe's just doing his thing.
Yes.
So
He got just people to do the live performances, basically.
and I'm sure maybe they did other stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
his son Joey is definitely credited on the studio album for drumming in the song "Happiness."
The Bad Son.
Yes, we have managed to avoid covering Joey Armstrong directly up until now. Even now, it's just a
Yes.
brief interaction. Even though we did cover Destroy Boys very recently, who were also minorly wrapped up in the controversy around him. It's weird how sometimes these things work out.
Indeed.
But the Longshot, 2018, post-revolutionary radio, well, Revolution Radio, sorry. Before Father of All, you get this. And what is the Longshot? Well, it's a side project. Everything came out in 2018.
Yes.
We got an album. We got 4 EPs, or 3 EPs and 2 singles. But there's definitely at least one single, depending on how you look at it.
Yes, there is.
We got Love is for Losers. That's the LP. The Longshot EP, Return to Sender, Razor Baby. Those are the other 2 major EPs. Bullets has 2 songs, considered an EP, but you know. And Devil's Kind. That's the single. These all came out, I want to say, weeks of each other. They're all very much in like one kind of cloistered chunk. Some of it before the album, most of it after. Just all kind of presented as if it was all made specifically to just kind of toss on here or something like that.
Yeah.
And so the way the release schedule works out is there was the Longshot EP, which, if you followed us when we covered the Money Money 2020 Part 2 and the Billy Joe Armstrong covers album and all that stuff, they released the Trans Am EP, and then they released Money Money 2020 Part 2 as kind of like the first was kind of a prelude to the second, and that's very much the same thing here. The Longshot
That it
EP
is.
is a prelude, the first 3 tracks of the LP Love is for Love.
That it is.
So, all that said, Trix, how do you feel about the Longshot?
It's a long shot that'll stick in my memory.
Well, you cut out and then it just said the Longshot that'll stick in my memory.
That's all I said.
Wow.
It's a long shot that'll stick in my memory. Like it's good, it's cute, but nothing really super memorable.
It's not the Foxborough Hot Tubs.
It's not Hot Tubs.
It wants to do what Foxborough Hot Tubs was doing, but it doesn't have the twang. It doesn't have the reach that album does.
It doesn't.
It's not fully committing. It sounds more just like generic Green Day with a little twinge of older rock sensibilities, which was also kind of Revolution Radio at times.
Yeah,
It's
nothing revolutionary. It's like Green Day songs, but with like almost like a 50s rock lens.
Slightly.
Like just slightly. Like you wouldn't be able to sneak this onto any like old school rock playlists, but like I could hear a couple of these songs maybe playing at a dive bar.
Yeah, and some of them had like a little bit of like one had like an Elton John feel, and one had this kind of 60s or 50s flavor.
Yeah.
Like listening to the album, the last time was very Elton Johnny, and then you could listen. It's like, okay, there's something here.
Yeah.
And that largely what I find is that this is fine. This is just another chapter that unfortunately is not super engaging, but not bad. And I think for where this is in the history of Green Day, that itself is interesting.
Yeah, it's a little beacon of hope in the giant mountain of shit.
Because we liked Revolution Radio.
We did.
It came after the God, what do we call it? The Thrillogy?
The Thrillogy. I coined that one.
Yes. And that was a disaster. And Revolution Radio
God, yeah.
righted the ship. And this is a side project. This doesn't technically count. But if you look at the timeline of, okay, this is right in between Revolution Radio and Father of All Motherfuckers. This is at least something that has a purpose. It sets the bar for where was Billy Joe at this point.
That it does.
And this does relate to other things we've covered. This does have a place in the larger Green Day lore. Mainly what this does is it exists as a repository for the film Ordinary World and the songs that Billy Joe Armstrong made for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got Body Bag, Devil's Kind, Fever Blister. Those are all put on the Longshot in different places. Devil's Kind's a single,
Yes.
Body Bag is on the LP, and Fever Blister is on the Razor Baby EP.
Yes.
I
feel like it's worth noting that those tracks are also my favorite.
Devil's Kind is pretty good. I wasn't as crazy about Body Bag. Fever Blister's whatever.
I liked the riff of Fever Blister.
I would say if I had to pick what my favorite individual thing from this, I would say Bullets was actually the most interesting thing.
Bullets was good.
Bullets felt like it had a little more energy, a little more trying to do something.
Yeah.
But
Speaking of energy,
oh yes.
Real aside, 7-Eleven has a Green Day coffee roast now for some reason. I tried it and it's kind of shit, but I think they burn the pot.
Kind of shit, but they burn the pot?
Yeah, like the coffee tastes burn,
I mean...
Like it'd just been sitting there for a while.
Oh, so this wasn't even like a thing like you would go in and get. It's just made there for you, ready.
No. Yeah, it's like in the big carafes.
Yeah, when you go to
they got it pre-built.
The self-serve.
Yeah, and you'd go and like just splurt some into a cup, give it like cream and sugar or whatever.
That's where I started my coffee addiction as a child.
I still can't really get into coffee, I'll be honest.
That's fair.
So I was probably a bad judge of it, but I saw that and it lined up with everything, so it's like, I gotta try it.
So Green Day coffee. What is your review again? Just one more time.
It was okay, but like it mostly just tastes like burnt coffee because I think they burnt the pot.
Okay. You still have any?
No, it was a cup I drank before work.
Oh damn. I was gonna say if you give us a slurp, that's fine. So
when my food gets here in a couple minutes, I can give you a slurp.
Sure. Unrelated, but still slurpable.
Yes.
So I it's interesting because I kind of don't understand why this is the way this is.
Yeah.
Like there's a trend now. It's release the EP, get people excited, release the LP. And the Longshot EP is surprisingly hard to find now. The original thing.
Yes.
Came out like a week before the LP, and it was like just a teaser, just a prologue. It's on Spotify still. You can still find it. I had to find it with I had to Google the link basically because it's not on their page. It's not on like Apple Music, but it's there if you find it. And so that was in April 12th, 2018. The album comes out April 20th. Mm-hmm. Then the single Devil's Kind comes out, and then the beginning of May we get all the EPs and all the stuff. So within a month, it's just like a bombardment of EPs and LPs and singles and things. And it's like, okay, cool. Billy Joe's doing something else.
Hey,
Yeah.
yep. Tricks.
Hello, Trix.
Ooh, this is a nice bag right here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh, the food came.
Thank you. Have a good one. Where were we?
I was just going over the bombardment of how everything came out within like a month, and it's like
Yes.
cool, a new thing from Billy Joe Armstrong, a new project. But then, like, why is it like this?
Yeah,
Because,
I feel that.
like, okay, we get an EP, we get an LP, and then we get a bunch of EPs. Why is it not just a couple albums? Why is it just not one album? Why are they dumping it all?
Yeah.
And like, you know, and they're self-releasing it, and that's cool. And I'm sure in a way this is just a way to have fun, just kind of chill out and play music that's not Green Day, capital G, capital D music, right? But
Yeah.
it's not like bands do this kind of thing regularly. Like there's usually like a cadence, there's like a PR thing you do. There's something to it. And this is just, well, you got a bunch of songs, let's all just release it.
Here's a bunch of shit.
Yeah. And that confuses me more than anything else. Especially because some of the songs I've already been out there. I found this interesting limited release list of things that Green Day or people related to Green Day have done that are around and out there if you know where to find it, but are very limited in release. And it talks about this play that Billy Joe worked on in 2015 called These Paper Bullets. And it's a Shakespeare redo. It's Much Ado About Nothing. But there's like songs that he made that are done by this band in the play, I guess. And so Keeps Me Satisfied, Give It All to You, and The Last Time, those are songs that are from this project. And
yes.
So there's another place where it's like, okay, these other songs existed, and now we need a place to put them. Cool. All right. And then it also mentions that there's another song called You Broke My Heart that was from this play that apparently was then reworked into being a song on Father of All called Stab You in the Heart, which, again, shows some of the lineage of where this comes into play and why the Longshot is at all important. It's a look to the future of what became Father of All, but it's also an interesting kind of collection of things that were happening around 2015 put into its own thing. But why is it not just Green Day stuff? Like, I get wanting to work with other artists, but why is it just not Green Day stuff?
Yeah, it's a little interesting. I don't know, but I think at some point we should listen to these paper bullets.
If we can find this list has a way to listen to it, so that's nice.
Yeah, I'll look on YouTube right now.
But it's easy to think of Green Day as like this band that kind of comes and goes, and there's nothing happening in the off season. And realistically, that's not super true. There's usually something happening somewhere. They're on tour. There's a weird there's a weird version of the Bill Maher theme song happening or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's things you only hear about a lot later when you can kind of piece together, okay, this relates to this connects to this, yada 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 yada.
Yeah.
I actually talked to Corey a little bit. Yeah, there we go. These paper bullets, it's on YouTube, so that's something we can look into.
Yep.
New things to keep this weird sub-series we've been doing going. Always love that.
Yeah.
But Corey,
Green Day will never end.
Every time it feels like it's going to end at some point for us, we find more.
Yes, we do.
So I asked him any thoughts on, because we originally, the way this happens is that Ritz is out on doing other stuff, vacation or whatever, and we were just kind of like, let's go with a long shot, let's do a Green Day episode. And I was like, oh, we'll just do the album, whatever. And then you're like, well, let's do the EPs too. And I'm like, okay, we can do that too.
Yeah, I figured we should talk about the EPs too, because why extend this out further than it has to be if it's just like 2 EPs and 2 singles?
And I think that was the right call, because just doing Love Is for Losers by itself is kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like that's maybe the most boring part of all this is actually the album itself.
It is,
It's
which is interesting.
yeah, it's just 11 tracks, and there's not much to them that's like, wow, what musicianship! Wow, they're really doing something different.
Yeah, I listened to all of these while washing dishes the other night, and it's not good music for the dish pit. I'll say that.
It kind of just comes and goes like water in a sink. It'll just drain, and then it clears up, and then it's waiting for the next.
I found washing the dishes a little more interesting than the album at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I asked Corey about Love Is for Losers specifically because that's where we started, and Corey's like, I like it, but it's pretty unspecial. I like the Ordinary World songs, particularly Body Bag and the Ozzy cover. Didn't realize Devil's Kind was on there, so just Body Bag from Ordinary World, I think. We talk some more, and he's like, I probably only like it because I know it's Billy Joe Armstrong, but it's not anything like beyond passable. It's all pretty generic. And then I was talking like, oh yeah, we're gonna discuss it. And he's like, oh god, what is there even to say?
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. That's all he has to say.
Yeah. And I mean, it's interesting, but like, there's just not a lot of substance here. It's just like it exists. I don't know how else to explain it.
Is it that they also thought that? Is that why they dumped it all like unceremoniously in like a month time?
Maybe that actually does make sense.
But then, like, why release it, right?
Green Day fans. We're two of them. We're ravenous for basically anything, as shown by this miniseries.
That is fair. Looking at the Spotify stats, Love Is for Losers has over 4 million plays. Taxi Driver and Chasing a Ghost have over 1 million each themselves.
I'm curious about YouTube because it's always so shitty.
Devil's Kind has over 6.5 million listens.
Devil's Kind has 1.2 million plays on YouTube. Love Is for Losers has 2.5.
Now, the Love Is for Losers, the versions of the songs on there actually are different. They have different amounts of plays, which is rare to see.
Yeah.
Body Bag has like 500,000. That's the lowest song on the album, actually. So historically, the audience does not like Body Bag. But Razor Baby,
how many does Body Bag have on YouTube? 188,000.
Huh. So that's charting with a lot of the other EPs where it's like in the few hundred thousands, 2 or 1 something.
Razor Baby has the least with 15,000.
Huh, the YouTube algorithm really is not doing it any favors.
No.
I would say the only thing that the Longshot really has going for it that's like different or interesting is the art style they're using on some of these EPs.
Yes, I was gonna bring that up next.
Yeah, what do you gotta say?
It's fascinating to look at. Like, I almost want to see like the big 12. They're EPs, so they'd be 7s, but I want to see like this blown up on like a 12-inch LP. Like, so I can like look and appreciate the details, because like there's quite a bit going on. Like in Return to Sender, it looks like a photo that like a selfie that Billy Joe took and then scribbled over.
Yeah, it's like a weird Picasso like distorted version of himself.
Almost looks like it's done in MS Paint.
And Razor Baby has a similar vibe, kind of like done in like a bathroom at a club.
Yeah.
Devil's Kind of looks like a slightly different art style, kind of like it's ripped from some Flash animation on YouTube.
It looks like he's nutting. Like his face, it looks like that's a face he'd make when he's nutting. Like, I can't explain it.
Now that you said that, I don't disagree. And then Bullets has like something covering his face. It's the name of the band, and then could be similar to the other EPs, but the face is obscured enough that it looks almost more in detail.
Yeah.
Then the Longshot, the LP Love Is for Losers, completely different art style. It's a fucking car, and it's the logo. The car is in like a Polaroid and on the cover.
Yeah.
So they kind of ignored that for the LP, but the EPs at least have some interesting art style stuff happening.
Yes.
I don't know if that's meant to reflect on Billy Joe's state of mind or just kind of like a thing he wanted to do to like give it some kind of artistic integrity, but it's something.
Yeah. It is.
Trying to get a better look at this. Yeah. Oh wow. No. Okay. Looking at this up close, he literally just scribbled a face over his body.
Yeah. Like MS Paint.
Yeah. Yeah. Like this isn't like a full filter on Instagram or anything like that. This is just scribbling over what Billy Joe looks like.
Yeah.
Which is more interesting because that gives the feel that this is like, okay, what are we gonna give these releases? I guess I could do this.
Yeah, it really just
keep going.
it really just feels like they kind of just ship this out to just kind of get it out there.
What I was gonna get back to with the views they're getting, the plays they're getting. I guess that's money.
Yeah.
If they're looking for a way to keep making money, I don't know how lucrative the long shot really will be for them necessarily, but the songs at least have millions of plays in some cases, and there's enough releases that there's a little bit of variety of what people can listen to. Like they have 44,000 monthly listeners on Spotify right now, so somebody is out there giving this a listen. A lot.
Yeah. There's only 2.79 subscribers on YouTube, which really doesn't mean anything because I don't think people like subscribe. 1,000. So like not a lot of people are subscribing to the Longshots, which I don't think a lot of people like subscribe on YouTube. Like if I go to like a fairly popular band like Idols, they only have like 225,000 compared to like if you went to like Spotify, it would be in like the millions.
Yeah. Subscribing to a band or like a topic is usually what it's kind of referred to as, because it's all kind of grouping together these songs and these albums. It's just not as interesting because it's like I could just follow this anywhere. YouTube is not special for doing that.
No. And like I'm also a super boomer about how I use my how I stream music. I basically just listen to albums.
I do try to listen to albums mostly as well. I think listening to singles, especially if the album is not out, singles don't give me enough idea of what I'm getting into. I feel like I'm not really listening to them. I'm not really in the right headspace yet. I need the finished work to be available.
Yeah,
to really dive in and understand it.
Like I have not gone into the Boy Scout single yet.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll listen to the album later, and it'll make sense. But right now,
it's only going to be 25 minutes long. Ooh,
no, that's pretty short. It's pretty good. I like that.
It is. I do too. I'm excited for more Boy Scout because I fucking love Goosebumps.
Yeah, was that 2021 we covered that?
Yeah, something like that.
That was like
maybe 2022.
Maybe. Not during our Green Day heyday of minisodes, but we're still doing them.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing is they have a cover, "Goodbye to Romance," on the LP. It's an Ozzy cover that Corey talked about. I guess you could say it's one of the more interesting songs, but even then, it's done in the long shot style, which I really can't classify except to say that it's more generic Green Day sometimes. And that it kind of just describes itself. Like, what is good? Have you listened to the original "Goodbye to Romance"?
I have not. I don't think. Let me check what album it's off. I have not listened to a lot of Ozzy. I'll admit, mostly just Sabbath.
So, because I'm wondering, is this meant to be a metal thing? Is this just another ballad? Like, what are they adapting this from? And I could have listened to find out, but I didn't have time. Because when we do these, sometimes it is just kind of on the fly, on the cuff.
Yes. Scrolling. Goodbye to Rome. Oh, it was off of Blizzard.
Okay.
So I've probably heard it,
but it didn't stick out to you.
It's a ballad.
Okay.
That's why it didn't stick out to me. I'm not a huge ballad guy.
So there's that, and we know that Billy Joe can do some cool covers because we listened to No Fun Mondays, and that was actually pretty good.
No Fun Mondays was great.
So this being here is kind of a letdown. And No Fun Monday was only a couple years later, so it's kind of incredible that it turned around that quickly. But again, this goes back to like when there's energy and when there's a cool idea that they seem to like, they're into it.
Yeah.
But when there's not, it's just kind of like, yeah, I guess we could put this out. Why not?
Yeah, it really adds to our kind of growing Green Day theory of they need to just quit everything and start focusing on the network.
The network, or just either make everything Green Day or make nothing Green Day and just actually focus on making the music they want to make.
Yes.
Because, like, there's enough songs here on the Longshot stuff. There's probably 25 songs, roughly. A lot of those...
Yeah.
Like, don't you remember in, like, the Thrillogy when they were talking about they wrote, like, 60-some songs?
Yeah.
Are these a lot of those?
You know, that might explain it.
Because there's nothing here that's super impressive, but there's nothing that really explains why there are so many songs, and back to the point of why are they released like this?
Yeah.
Because you could make a double album, you could make multiple albums, and actually, release them over time and build an audience and get engagement and make more money.
Yes.
But again, instead, it was just EP, album, single, a bunch of EPs and stuff, and then we've not heard from the Longshot since 2018.
No.
It was like a flash in the pan, dump it, move on. And
something tells me we're not going to see Love is for Losers 2 in 20 years or whatever. 2038.
Now, of course, Wikipedia says, oh, they're still going. Maybe they're still just kind of touring here and there for fun. Like,
you're doing pop-up shows.
Like, obviously, they still do stuff. Green Day and Green Day side projects still do stuff.
Yeah.
Another band that was founded around this time was the Cover-Ups, which is the actual cover band for Billy Joe and Mike Dirnt.
Yep.
And they were actually at the 100 Club this year, Trix. So just like
wow.
just like fucking Jaded Hearts Club.
Wow.
So they've been doing stuff. But
yeah.
So it's not a lack of, no one wants to do anything, because obviously we just had Saviors this year. Green Day is still working. Other bands in that circle are still working. But this is something that is just kind of there. And again, flash in the pan. Cool, we're releasing stuff, but I kind of just think that this was a way to kind of dump some songs that Billy Joe had written, or maybe, I don't know if he wrote all of them necessarily, but most of them.
He probably wrote them all. I'll say that. They all sound like him, like his writing.
Or maybe there was some collaboration. You never know.
Maybe
things.
Yeah,
but you never get the sense that the Longshot was like a super long conceived idea that stemmed from years ago, or was like a build up to something. It just kind of happened and then it went away.
Have we thought yet that the name is literal? That it is a long shot that this is that the band was gonna take off, and that it was gonna get any traction at all?
You think they just kind of called their shot with that?
Maybe.
I'm like, they can see, but not hopeful. I guess that makes sense. That could very well be. But I mean, I guess I would say that the Longshot also does feel enough like a proper punk or rock band name that it makes sense, in the sense that they're underdogs. It's a Green Day side project. They're probably not going to get big, but they're going to try anyway. God damn it.
I found another punk band by the name of the Longshots, plural, trying to find this EP initially.
How old are they?
I think they're older. Let me find my phone again. They're under my nuggets.
Rip to your nuggets.
I'm sitting out in the dark eating chicken nuggets.
Here, live in Seattle, there's a YouTube video.
2014, 2012, 2011.
Yeah, 2012 is this video.
2009.
Lest the audio become part of the soundtrack, but They're from Eugene, Oregon, performing a catchy blend of their Jamaican rock and roll and swinging ska and soul for the fancy dancy people of Seattle, Washington.
Yeah.
That's from the author Tumbleweedski. I'm guessing who uploaded the video.
They have 31 subscribers on YouTube.
19,475 likes. Oh, that's the Longshot. That's the Green Day version. Never mind. Sorry, 543 likes on Facebook. This is a different one. This is from Bristol, the Longshots, and they are still active as of last month. Huh. So there's multiple Longshots.
Yes.
And this band is currently playing stuff this year. They are a fun and lively 4-piece covers band from Bristol who cover a wide range of hits. So they themselves are a covers band.
Excuse me.
This episode sure is something else.
Yeah. Honestly, I really like when we get weird with it. I'm not gonna lie.
I like there is something fun about doing random stuff and kind of just seeing what's gonna work and what's gonna stick.
I feel like I did something good though with subscribe. We're doing this in the break where I just told them to watch Schoolhouse Rock, just whatever they wanted, just spend like a couple hours on YouTube.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm cooking there.
I've not done that yet. I listened to everything else the last week, and like this week is going to be my time to kind of just fuck around and see what I come up with.
Hell yes. I haven't really done my watching, but I have seen every Schoolhouse Rock video like multiple times, so I'll get to them.
That is totally fair.
Yeah.
There's a Longshot band NC thing on YouTube. Yeah, so there's potentially multiple Longshots.
Mm-hmm.
This one is just one that stars Billie Joe Armstrong and other people.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jeff Matica, the bassist, was a touring guitarist for Green Day. David S. Field and Kevin Preston are from the band Prima Donna. Preston also played in the Foxborough Hot Tub, according to Wikipedia.
The Prima Donnas also had a couple songs written by Billie Joe, I'm pretty sure.
Interesting. Okay. Not know that. They supported Green Day on the 21st Century Breakdown tour. Makes sense of how the Foxborough Hot Tubs came about. They continue to support them. Steven Van Zandt has featured on 3 Prima Donna songs.
Interesting.
So they released... Oh, okay. So Prima Donna released a self-titled album in March 2018. And it said that after that, they went and did stuff for the Longshot.
Yes.
Anything... Alright, so there's... Okay. No, BJA is not listed as a writer for these songs that were made around the same time.
Let's see here.
Interestingly, they apparently have a single from 2021 called Atomic Love. There's a B-side called He's a Rebel.
Yes, I was seeing that too.
Is that a American Idiot just full reference?
Perhaps.
Let's see. Is there anything I can say about what Billie Joe has produced?
I'm looking at the EP art for He's a Rebel, and they're all doing like it's like a fucking drawn up of Rebel Without a Cause, the band members. So I'm guessing it's just it's a Rebel thing. I'm guessing. I might just be misremembering.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't really see anything, unfortunately. But I would not doubt that there was more work between them.
Yeah.
Okay. Talks about them briefly. Oh, right. Who could forget? The year before this, in 2017, the Armstrongs came about, which is Billie Joe and Tim Armstrong of Rancid doing a thing together.
Yes.
I don't think that anything ever really came of that.
No. It's like when Jack Black and Jack White were gonna do a collab together.
That also, that never came out either. Now,
yeah.
If the 4 of them got together, we would never have any music ever again.
Yeah.
Other interesting things, I guess we could talk about here for a moment. it's interesting when the long shot just kind of pops out of nowhere, because then it's like the question of, is Green Day breaking up? Are they going on extended hiatus? Are they just doing solo stuff? And
Yeah.
it seemed like they were very clear in trying to say no breakup, just doing this, just stop. So
Yeah.
really going out of the way to be like, this is just something else, and here you go, and shut up and leave. Which again, I think to me that vibe kind of goes back to like, okay, don't worry, this is not that important.
Yeah. It's interesting, and it's in how little of a shit is this album has been given, or like it just feels like it was this album and collection of EPs were just kind of dumped on us and then abandoned, and then they're I don't know where I'm going with this train of thought.
It feels like it's meant for moments like this where we can go back
Yeah.
and be like, oh yeah, Devil's Kind from Ordinary World was released, but by the Longshot, not Green Day, not Billy Joe himself.
Yes. What was the band in Ordinary World, like his band, called?
1 second, I'm just counting up the amount of songs. So it's 23 songs overall. If you want to count the original Longshot LP as a different release, 26 songs. Three that repeat though. Let me look at the page for
It was the Interrupters, what I was originally thinking of, by the way, for the songs written by Billy Joe Armstrong.
The Skunks.
The Skunks. Yeah. Because I was thinking maybe this is like fucking whatever the Scott Pilgrim band is called, Sex Bomb or whatever. But
Yeah.
no.
And like Devil's Kind was the beginning. Yeah. And okay, that's like the big song of the movie.
Yeah.
And Ordinary World itself was on Revolution Radio. Can't forget that either.
You're right. Yes, it was. We can't forget that.
So that also is a tie back to Revolution Radio. Then is that Ordinary World itself made the album. The other songs did not.
Yes.
They were again pushed to this other thing for seemingly not super clear reason, other than, well, we gotta put it out, I guess.
Yeah, those Green Day fans will listen to anything. Wait for a couple years, and when we put out Father of All.
Now I had to check something, because I was, the Skunks are a band, is the weird thing.
Yeah.
They are a 70s punk rock band. Like, they've been around.
Yes, they have.
We listened to them when they were on the Janelle Monáe track from her first EP, Violet Stars Happy Hunting.
Yes.
So I'm surprised that they just went with the Skunks, I guess, for this fucking movie.
Yeah.
That just like, let's just call a band Rolling Stone.
Let's call them the Beatles, spelled with 2 E's.
We're gonna open up a club. What are you gonna name it? Oh, CBGB. Just unironically.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Super fucking weird. The 2010s were a weird time for Green Day.
They were.
Because let's see. Like, we start the 2010s with the post 21st century breakdown. We got the tour.
Yes.
And then we get, this is maybe,
which I saw them on that tour.
Right. This is maybe truncating some stuff, but we do get the Thrillogy.
Yep.
Then there was that rehab stint that happened.
And Foxborough is in there somewhere.
Yeah, and then Ordinary World, Revolution Radio, then Longshot, then Father of All Motherfuckers is what starts the 2020s.
Yes.
If you zoom out for a second and think about what the 2010s was for Green Day versus what the 2000s was, right? Like,
yes,
the 2000s, you get like Warning, you get the supposed stolen cigarettes and Valentines and international super hits and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then they give themselves an identity with American Idiot. You know, the network happens. All this stuff that seems to re-energize them and make them exciting. And they ride
Yes.
that for the rest of the 2000s. Bullet in a Bible, fucking American Idiots on Broadway, and then we get 21st Century. And, you know, it's like this super defining moment, but then as soon as that decade changes, it's different. It's all in the ether. It's all kind of wishy-washy. Stuff is happening, but it's
Yes.
not like it was. And I
No.
think now in the 2020s, we're in an interesting place where, yes, we had Father of All. That was like the very beginning. Like stuff that was being worked on, obviously, in like 2019, 2018, 2017.
Yes.
So now we're looking at, okay, we're in a post-Money 2020 Part 2 world. And some of the stuff has been really interesting. Some of it's been okay. Saviors was not the best, but
No.
overall, so far, I think they've already made up for the weird shit they did in the 2010s.
I think Money 2020 Part 2 has like cleared them of any wrongdoing in the past for me. Like that is such a good album.
I don't know if I go that far, but it sure proved that they could still make good music.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I think the next side minisodes we have for Green Day should be about Billy Joe Armstrong's other side project, Pinhead Gunpowder.
I was thinking about that, and we try to call these minisodes in the last minisode, but then we end up doing something different usually.
Yes.
So maybe we'll do that, but maybe we won't.
We should just try and keep this one like on the docket. Maybe we'll do like a pin message on Discord.
Pinhead Gunpowder. Pinhead Gunpowder.
Pinhead Gunpowder.
So let's see. Pinhead Gunpowder. They have one LP. Then they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 EPs. 3 compilations. So no, this is not something we're going to do in one episode. I'm going to tell you that right now.
No, it is not.
And I'm sure some of these might be hard to get depending on how they were released, because I would not think that the Longshot would be hard to get, but nonetheless, the titular Longshot EP, surprisingly difficult to find.
I have 1 EP, 2 EP, 3 EP, 4 EP, and 2 compilations on YouTube. So 4 EPs and 2 of the compilations.
Let's see what Spotify has. Now, Pinhead Gunpowder is a great name, and definitely something you save for something you really want to promote. Unfortunately, oh god, losing everything. Only 35,000 listeners on Spotify, so they're not quite as popular as the Longshot.
Yes.
They have a larger history. We got the album, we got... Looks like some of the EPs are here, some of the compilations are here. Yeah, okay, that's all. That seems to be all there. EPs. We just get the one. Interesting. Okay. So this might take some work.
Yeah.
Well, to see what we can easily come up with and what will be harder to come up with.
Mm-hmm. Yes. While let's since you linked it earlier, I want to take a minute to like look through that limited releases page and see what else just sticks out to us.
Yeah, so this is from greenday.fm. And there is something I did want to mention that's all the way at the bottom. Very last thing is from 1977. Billy Joe recorded stuff. It was interviewed when he was 5 years old.
Ooh.
At Fantasy Studios, where he would later record Dookie.
Interesting.
Written by his music teachers, and just it's out there, and there's a little cover. Adorable.
He is
really trying to make Look for Love, that song, they're really trying to make it a thing, looks like.
Yeah.
So that could be interesting to cover from 1977. That's cool that that's here. And then
that it is.
I think you were talking about bowling, parking.
I was
in a previous episode, and that's
a coworker of mine owned it at one point.
Yeah, that's listed here. some of their other live things, small EPs, the American Idiot bonus tracks.
Yep.
No, I think we kind of covered those already.
Yeah, we did. We did them on the. We just straight up covered them because we put them on the fucking.
Father of All.
Yeah, Father of All, where we reconstructed Cigarettes and Valentines.
And like, how could you forget? Like, Too Much Too Soon's a fucking banger.
Yeah.
Shoplifter is fantastic. Governator is just weird. So it all fits.
Yeah.
There's the Boo, which is it was just an Armstrong family kind of dealio.
That could be interesting.
And then we got that Paper Bullets thing that we talked about.
Yep. The Woodstock Live '94.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Kind of other little live things. Some of it's like record store day stuff, or just small EPs kind of given out at events, like the tour CD Your Arms Are My Cocoon had that I put on the show.
I'm actually
Go ahead.
pretty interested in this Welcome to My Panic.
Yeah,
because it's all acoustic versions.
Yeah, because Audible had a thing, it looks like, in 2021, Words and Music. So I guess they were talking to Billy Joe Armstrong during COVID, and he did a bunch of is Welcome to My Panic his book or something?
Maybe.
Let's see.
Well, no, Audible does do podcasts now.
Right.
I think they were doing them at that time, so I think it might just be a podcast.
Okay, so Welcome to My Panic does not show up on his Wikipedia. So, okay, I will take that as a thing podcast. But the top listing is just a bunch of unreleased or just rare songs. Like we talked about. Weirdly enough, Bill Maher got them to do the theme song for his fucking show in 2023.
Yep.
There's a couple other things listed, like a cut song, Highway 1. I think we talked about that.
I think we did.
On Foxborough Hot Tubs.
Yeah.
They don't have the song that was cut though.
Yeah. I at some point I do want to talk about short music for short people. That's been on my docket for a while because it's 100 tracks. But they're all like 30 seconds.
Sure. But no, but they don't have that one song that they cut because it was about like joyriding drunk or something.
Yeah, which that one was probably going to be the best one. Who doesn't love a good drunk driving anthem? I mean, that's the only reason why Freebird still exists.
That and Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's some really cool stuff. There's some really deep cuts on this page, greenday.fm. They seem to do some really cool work that we could definitely like dive deeper into.
Yeah,
I wonder. Like,
there's
where do they get this?
What this minisode has taught us is that we have just barely scratched the surface of Green Day, and we will be doing Green Day minisodes for till the end of the podcast, probably.
Yeah, because we still have to cover Foreverly.
Yep.
Fucking Nora Jones. Collab album? What the fuck?
And then we got to do like Mike Dirnt's side project and fucking Jason's side project, which is actually really good. I've listened to it.
And then we got to talk about the controversial shit at some point.
Yep. We got to do some of Ultra Q, the band that Mount Eddie turned into.
Yeah.
Which I've listened to more of them, and they're fucking great. Like they're on some shit.
Then we just gotta see what else we can get from there. Is there any weird like other shit that we can kind of bring into it?
Yeah, like we still got to do live shows, like the official live releases.
Oh god. Oh yeah.
At some point, I know it's gonna suck, but we're gonna have to talk about Demolicious.
On Billy Joe's page, there's something called the Shrives, an EP called "Turn Me On" that he's involved with. He played bass.
Interesting.
We can talk about the movies he was in.
Yeah.
Imagine fucking watching the Simpsons movie for this show.
It's actually not a bad movie too.
I know, it's just so funny. Like
it is.
Minisode 99 when we do the Simpsons movie and the one episode of King of the Hill that he was on.
Yeah.
And then we play Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, where he appears as himself.
I don't remember that.
You know what we got to do for Minisode 100 though?
What do we got to do?
Green Day Rock Band.
You're right. Fuck. We gotta find the lore of Green Day Rock Band.
we gotta fucking get the Green Day Rock Band game. We gotta get the instruments.
We can just emulate it on a Wii. Dolphin it.
Trix. No. There's gotta be a thing that we do together.
Oh, okay. So like I will come out to Chicago and we will play Green Day Rock Band on stream.
Something like that, yes.
Okay, yes.
Like we'll record it, part of it at least. It'll be like part of the whole thing. I don't know how we'll do that with the copyrighted songs. We'll figure something out.
I feel like here's my suggestion for that. I feel like we should go above and beyond and like have costume changes too to like match the eras.
We'll see what we can do. I don't know if I want to commit to that, but we'll see what we can do.
I get it.
But there's so much we can do, and it's every time we fucking do this, there's just more shit.
Yeah, I honestly kind of love it. The unending well of Green Day we've stumbled onto.
And we haven't even smoked weed during one of these episodes.
I did several times.
I mean, not me. We didn't make a point of it, I guess I should say.
That's what we'll do in episode 100.
It'll be weed and also Green Day Rock Band.
Yes.
Oh, and I think there's a Green Day Rock Band Plus, too.
Yes.
Oh, no. Even more.
So we might have to end up like jailbreaking a PS3 to like install some DLC.
Or we just... Oh, shit. We should get on that.
Yeah.
Before... Oh, would it even be up for Rock Band still? That's a good question.
Well, isn't the entire like 360 and PS3 stores down?
No, the PS3 store is still up.
Oh shit.
Right now, at least. In 2024, in September, it is still up.
We are in the beginning of September.
So, but it'd be better to get it now. Well, it's still possibly available. Huh. Interesting.
You know, if we're doing Green Day Rock Band for episode 100, I think we should also just make it like the games edition and also throw in Beat Saber.
Sure.
I own it. I already own everything for that.
Sure.
Okay, I'm on the Wikipedia page for Rock Band, Green Day Rock Band.
This could really be something.
It could be. Let's see here. Development.
Obviously, the Beatles Rock Band was a big deal.
Yeah.
It came after that.
Let's see here.
Green Day Rock Band is a software-only release and is not bundled with instruments of its own.
No, it was not. Like, I remember Beatles Rock Band had like all the fucking like Beatles guitars. Like, I remember the Hofner bass was a big one you could get.
Yeah. That's also something that came out in the 2010s. Green Day at their like apex of like popularity and all that.
Yeah.
And then it all went downhill.
Okay, I'm looking at the... Okay, let's see here. There was going to... Following the announcement of the band's trilogy, it was announced that a DLC pack called Green Day 03 would feature 4 songs existing from the game, as well as the song Oh Love from Uno. However, this pack would only be available for Rock Band 3. So the DLC isn't even for Green Day Rock Band.
Excellent.
It's for Rock Band 3. That's fucking hilarious. And Blitz. Whatever the fuck Blitz is.
That's the mobile one. Yeah, so Green Day Rock Band was like after Beatles and Lego and all that stuff. It was before Rock Band 3. And then Rock Band Blitz came out a little bit later. But this was really the end of that era, too.
Yeah.
2011 is when everything crashed. Because of what happened in 2010. When I guess Green Day Rock Band and Rock Band 3 did not sell as well.
Well, the market was fucking super oversaturated at that time.
Yeah. Again, they had just released a bunch of other ones.
Yes.
So no fucking wonder.
And the rhythm game genre is actually like making a pretty big comeback as of these days.
Well, yeah, it's always been cool, but it's just not the same thing when you're literally flooding it with the same things over and over and over.
Yeah.
Like you can
Although
handle.
Fortnite Festival has proved that there's still a demand for Rock Band and Guitar Hero.
Right, and that's a cool mode in a game.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember if because I played that Guitar Hero 6, Guitar Hero Live. And I actually really quite enjoyed that game. And I'm trying to remember if it had a Green Day song. I think it might have.
Oh god, just tracking every song down and seeing where it ended up.
Well, no, I'm more just thinking about that one because that one had that stupid gimmick where like it was all FMV.
Oh god, that's right.
And like I like FMV, I'm not gonna lie.
Would they have done original FMV for the game?
They did do well, it wouldn't be Green Day FMV, but it would be like a cover band.
Interesting. Okay.
But I think the songs that the Green Day was on, like they had a live service thing that would just play like music videos that had a track.
Right, it was like a rotating playlist. It was not like a choose your own thing.
Yeah, and you had to buy plays for it. It was fucking stupid.
That's where the industry went to. What a
But
weird shit.
yeah, like back to the Apple of buying songs. I do know that there were quite a few tracks for Rocksmith. I bought the couple Green Day packs there
Oh
were.
yeah, Rocksmith. What a thing.
Rocksmith is actually a really great tool to like get you comfortable with a guitar, if you ask me.
Sure, I believe that.
Could I play a song that I learned on Rocksmith without the track? No. But like it let me like feel comfortable sliding around the bass, and like if I heard the song and like tried to like pluck along, it would come back to me. But like
Right.
yeah. I tried learning some Primus songs on that when my main bass was this is for those bass nerds that listen, all zero of you. I was playing a P bass with 50 gauge flat wounds on them with action about half an inch high off the fretboard, trying to learn Tommy the Cat and whatnot. That's how I like my action, but
Very nice.
it was rough. So, anyways, Green Day.
Anything else you really want to talk about as far as the long shots go, or the long shot goes?
I think I think a bizarro, fun, weird Minisode where we just kind of like explore the other long shots might be fun.
Maybe.
Like no like this is like an emergency last second, like we're just going and we're gonna go listen to them live on air and like explore and poke around.
That would actually be really cool. I kind of like
Yeah.
that idea.
Like instead of a Spinal Tap, we poke around and fuck around with the other long shots.
Well, to see what happens from here on.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good with what we got here. I don't have much to say as far as recommendations. I guess
Listen to it and then forget about it like we will.
if you had to pick something to listen to, I guess the Bullets EP, the two songs on there are the most interesting together. I don't know.
Yeah, listen to the Bullets EP. Maybe listen to the Devil's Third.
Devil's Kind.
Devil's Kind. I'm thinking of the Wii U game.
We all think of the Wii U game. I understand.
The Wii U is always on my mind, man. It's like you and the Dreamcast.
I mean, the Wii U is kind of a Dreamcast.
It is the Dreamcast.
And Devil's Third is a guitar reference.
You know what we gotta play? We gotta play Rock Band Green Day on a fucking Wii U now.
It doesn't exist.
It exists for Wii.
Oh, that's right. It does. Oh man. Shit. That's like the real shit.
Yeah. This is the shit you follow Dissonant Waves for.
Oh god, all right. And then we'll end it by playing some Devil's Third. I'll have to buy that game somehow on Wii U. Anyway, that'll do it for Dissonant Waves this episode. My name is Dominic. You can catch me online at DACICHOCKI on Twitter, Dominic Chikoki on YouTube if you must. I'm also on the Game Time Untitled podcast. An episode of Xenogears and stuff. Go on, check out.
I have been Trix. You can catch me on Instagram now, where I just post food photos. That is at Trix the Sandwich Wizard, and Twitter and all the other places. And like, buy our merch, check out our show, yada yada yada.
There is a Patreon. I've
Ritz
updated
out
in a
too.
while.
Check out Ritz too, I guess.
Yeah. I also on Instagram, Dominic Chikoki, if you must, do me there. I do post about this show on there, ironically, so I guess I should acknowledge that at some point. Other than that, thank you for listening. Thank you for putting up with our chaos and our weirdness and also our silences.
And me getting food.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.